everybody. I know it seems really, really weird. It's not 6 o'clock, but I didn't want you to wait because it is actually free new comic book day. Sorry. And it's a weird day because yesterday was the 4th of July and we didn't get books. So we got them today, processed them, just like everybody else in your area, and I read as fast as I could. So let's get to it. Let's start with some DC. Alright, so Superman, this is the beginning of a storyline called Brains vs. Brawn, and it is going to be a series of stories, I believe, that'll put Superman with his son John and have them try to figure out how they can work best together as a father and son, even though you have a son that wants to be very independent and has started to doubt himself because of the problems they've had in the last 3 or 4 issues. And it's kind of awesome and nostalgic because it also deals with the way that Superman Clark had to deal with trying to follow his dad's advice on the farm. So it's a really great book. And second part of Batman War of Jokes and Riddles continues to be awesome. It is full-on war between Joker and Riddler, and this one kind of has insights on how Joker and Riddler are dealing with each other. I love riddles and I love jokes, and there's plenty of them in there. From IDW, this cool little book. This is an interesting little thing. Hi. This is, I'm going to totally mispronounce it, but I'm going to say it's Hanazuki. But, so the way I will describe this is if you've ever read any manga or watched anime and you're like, well, I don't really know what's going on, but it's adorable. That's kind of the way you're going to feel when you read this book. But it's really cute. There's little cute creatures in it. Look at those cute creatures. And it's kind of about when given a thing that looks like a lollipop, how do you deal with everyone wanting it? Not lollipop, what's the other thing? The ice cream version of it. Man, I can't remember words. You know, as you get older, you get more word salad problems. Alright, so this one's a cool book. I really loved it a lot. I didn't know what to expect out of it at all. So this is Claudia and Rex. This is part of the new books we're going to start seeing out of Lion Forge. This is more aimed at kids. So this is a really cool look at a girl and her sister and her mom who are moving, and how their world completely like collides with the world of the gods. So in the world of the gods, they are being attacked by seraphim and who are agents of, I don't know how to explain how they describe the one god who's trying to like wipe out the rest of them. But you'll recognize a lot of them. You can see kind of like influences for all the different kinds of gods that are in this realm. And it's really cool because they decide that the way that they can get away from being destroyed is to become kind of mortal, but it doesn't work out the way they want to at all. And it's pretty hilarious. So they get transported to our world, but in a very hilarious way. Really, really, really good book. Aftershock had some really great ones dropped this week too. So Unholy Grail, this is Cullen Bunn's really awesome book. Think Merlin and Arthur and that legend, but totally put on its head. Really, really great art in this book as well. I don't want to give too much away about that one because it's kind of a mystery. Because I don't want to tell you who Merlin's been possessed by. It's kind of cool. Baby Teeth #2, also from Aftershock this week. You find out in this issue why it's called Baby Teeth. Yeah, so the teenage girl that had the baby, that she's been kind of self-narrating, and so you know that the baby is the Antichrist. You kind of have her skipping around in time because she's trying to tell the baby about its history. So it's kind of cool. You do find some more things out this week. And you find out there's people after the baby too. This one I really loved because it has some of my favorite characters in it that you don't see all the time. So remember Bloodshot. Bloodshot's the cool character that has the nanites in his blood. He can't be killed. There's more than one, right? So this is dealing with Tank Man, I know it sounds like a weird name, but that's what they call him. And Viet Man. So there's those two characters. And they realize that they have never ever had a day off since they've become Bloodshot. And so they force them to go on a vacation. But they use this time away to go and kind of wrap up some things that have happened in their past. So kind of heart-wrenching, warming, if you like books that have actual emotion to them. You will love. Walking Dead, still dealing with the aftermath of the death of the major character, Rick's wife, Andrea, which happened like forever ago. And if that's a spoiler alert problem for you, I'm sorry, man. It happened forever ago. You need to pick up your books and read. So this is, in this book, it deals a lot with everyone trying to figure out where they want to go, to Hilltop or stay where they are, what's going to happen with Negan. Why would you let him go? Why isn't he paying the price? Really good. And this crazy thing, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. It has a bunch of different art styles in it, which is kind of interesting. So it kind of strings together the story for why Deadpool's doing what he's doing. But it's really cool. It pays off, absolutely. And then everything else that I have... Oh, no, I want to do this one first. All right. So this is a huge, thick book, guys. Really, really gigantically thick. So this is an image book called Sacred Creatures. Really pays off, this book. So, without giving away too much, imagine an ancient family. Kind of, if you're reading it, you might think vampire, but they're not vampires. That has an ultimate plan that can influence people by their touch and suggestion. So it's basically one main character who they're influencing and forcing to do something. It also has a cool priest that can do giant things and hideous-looking giant cats. Really awesome book. And it's only $4.99 for this gigantic thing. I think this book took me at least half an hour to read all on its own, so worth the money. Alright, now so everything else is Secret Empire related, so I'll run through those. Okay, so Brave New World #3 came out today. This is always a selection of stories from different points of view. So this one has 3 stories. One's the Daily Bugle story, so it has to do with Jameson and their wrap-up in the Secret Empire. Starbrand and Starbrand trying to figure out a way to affect the planetary shield that's up. And the invaders, the conflict between Namor and Namora comes to a head and ends with a giant question mark for what's really going to happen. My favorite of the tie-ins this week was actually Avengers, which clearly in this book has lots of references to the next one. So this is #9, and #10 is going to be the one that really starts telling this story about the Avengers, because all the Avengers that are part of this book are actually working for Hydra right now, so it kind of tells you the backstory for Wise. But this is a standalone kind of story that deals with Thor. She gets transported to another dimension, and this is how she meets some beings there, and her interaction with them. This is a really amazing story. I love, love, love this one very much. And the art's to die for, too. Alright, X-Men Gold. Remember last we saw Peters doesn't have any ability to turn into his giant Colossus metallic self. And so there's a conflict that's going on there, and you get to see some interaction that's very cool between Kitty and Nightcrawler. You will like that as well. And there's an assassin going around and killing people at the mansion, so we got to figure out what's going on with that for sure. And the Champions. I need to make sure that I remember exactly what wrote on this book. I read them all so fast. Okay, so this is cool. So this is what I remembered. So you remember the Inhumans have all been captured and are being held kind of in a facility in the middle of nowhere. But the Champions decided that they're going to go and try to break them out. it's interesting because they may or may not all want to be out of that facility. So tie-ins were cool this week. Got lots of stuff to go read. If you don't know where a comic book store is near you, go to comicshoplocator.com. Alright, sorry it was a weird week, and I had to do it on Wednesday, not Tuesday, so you can go find the books now. Alright, bye everybody.